Hey, One Piece fans, this is Chris Bolts coming in with a recap and review of episode 1128, Kuma's Past, Better Off Dead in This World. Now, before I get into the content, please make sure you like, share, subscribe, turn on those post notifications. And if you do watch this video to the end, that will be greatly appreciated because all of that stuff really helps out with the algorithm. And without further ado, let's get right off into it. Now, first of all, let me just say this. Last week's episode was a recap, and I don't know why Toei decided to go ahead and do that, because this episode right here could have easily have been shown last week without any of the need for the recap or anything, because this episode really advances the story and also gives a really good backdrop and really helps flesh out the character of Batholomew Kuma. I don't know why they decided to go ahead and do that recap. I hope they don't do that in the future with these recaps, because those recaps, they really do break up the flow of it. No, they don't necessarily break up the flow of the story, but they certainly do hurt and harm the interests of people that people have with the story. I did a video last week, or not last week, but a few days ago, talking about that, how last week's episode was the most disliked episode of this season, all because people don't like recaps. You could have easily have shown this episode and everybody would have been happier for it. If you're going to do a recap, maybe wait, until you got like 20 episodes in, and then go ahead and drop a recap, maybe. But there was no need for that. This one right here would have served really well. Okay, so that rant out of the way, let's go ahead and get right off into this. Now, this actually picks up after Joribani stabbed Saint Saturn in the face. And we are still being told by the vice admirals that all these small peon Navy folks need to be out of the way. They cannot gaze upon the godly presence of Saint Saturn, so they have to get out of there. And the only people that can be there are vice admirals and rear admirals, and so these guys are getting up out of there. They've never seen a Gorosei in person in real life. They usually only see them in pictures or only hear stories about that. And this guy right here is wondering what's going on over there. Well, what's really going on over there? You see right there, he says he's only seen them in portraits. And we go right here, and now we see the after effects of Joribani driving that katana into the body of Saint Saturn, and all these and here's Stella Vegapunk telling her to get away from him because he is a very dangerous man. And you see he's getting ready to go ahead, and this also we're seeing the extent, or maybe just a portion, of Saint Saturn's powers. He's gonna shoot Bonnie it wasn't an eye beam or anything like that, but it was some type of concussive force that was shot from his eyes. He shot it right into Joribani. And then he catches her. You see, she's right there. She's being shot away, and Sanji is pissed off. He's getting ready to go do his heroic act, and there's a big discussion right now that's going on about how Sanji is being treated by Toei, and I am still of the belief that he is being handled properly, but I know that there are some people out there that are just adamantly pissed off that Sanjay keeps getting thrown to the wayside and getting mistreated. Maybe I might do a video on that when I have some time to go ahead and do that, looking into all of this from the beginning of when Sanjay was introduced up until now. But I'm still of that mindset that he's being handled right, but I'm not gonna disagree that some people have the feeling that he's being mishandled. But anyways, back to the video right here. Sanji is telling, hey, how dare you, Saint Saturn, you sit there and attack a child like that. And he's going to try to approach Saint Saturn, but he gets put on his ass by the same concussive blast that was shot at Joribani. I'm going to start calling Saint Saturn Cyclops. except he's a different type of Cyclops because he can walk around without a ruby visor. Man, I tell you, isn't Disney Marvel in such a bad spot right now? I don't know if I really want to see them do X-Men, but I digress. Let's get back to One Piece here. So he's laying on the ground. Here's Saint Saturn. Saint Saturn has captured Juribani. He's getting ready to pull that katana out of his chest, and he has regenerative healing capabilities. And Sanji's still laying right there in a bloodied mess. And now the army, or rather the Navy, was getting ready to approach to capture all of the Straw Hats, Dr. Vegapunk, Stella, and what's the other one? Not Adam. Boy, I already forgot her name, but she's the big sheep one. They're getting ready to go ahead and capture her. But Saint Saturn says, nah, you guys back off. Just wait. We already got him right here. You ain't got to do anything. And he has some choice words for Kizaru, who was just laying right here. He got knocked out by that last punch from Luffy. And he obviously felt that when he wasn't able to dodge that punch from Luffy. And Kizaru he's embarrassed that he got taken out. And he said he's going to be out of the fight for a little bit. And I like how this Navy jacket is still just attached to him. Only in One Piece can you lay on your jacket, and when you stand up, it'll still be attached to you. So he's out right there. We got another picture of Saint Saturn right there, and right here he's getting ready to try to kill Luffy. He's gonna raise up one of his spider legs and get ready to drive it down on Luffy right there, who's in a dilapidated state. But Frankie comes in with the strong right to go ahead and save him. And you see right here, Saint Saturn says, "Oh, you guys are those types of pirates that like to cooperate. You like to be on the same side of each other." And then he goes ahead and looks at him. Your participation in the battle was certainly unexpected, and he's going to dare them to try to escape after the Navy has them all completely surrounded. And then, of course, we have Saint Saturn on the island himself. It's going to be a daunting task for them to go in there and try to escape. He sits there and looks down at Stella Vegapunk and says, "Hey, we know you betrayed us, and we don't appreciate that, but we do thank you for the service that you have provided to the Navy. It was invaluable." And now he goes and asks Stella Vegapunk, "Which one of these fools do you want us to exterminate first? Name them in the order of who you will grieve least to most." And so he's putting that out there for him. And of course, Juribani is looking onward right there. So is Frankie. And then, of course, she's talking about, and Bonnie's looking down at Saint Saturn, cursing him, saying, "What did you do to my daddy?" And of course, Saint Saturn comes in and says, "Nah, your daddy ain't nobody. He's one of the Buccaneer people. He was born into a slave caste." Now, me personally, I have never heard of the Buccaneer people. So let me go ahead and look that up right now. Okay, so this is from fandom.com, and it says the Buccaneers are a nearly extinct special mixed blood race of humanoids taller than average humans but smaller than the giants. With the race considered to be lost in the midst of times, Batholomew Kuma is regarded as the last survivor of the race, according to Jay Garcia Saturn. So don't know what I wonder what the reason why that they're after him is, because they're half giant, half human. Let's see. As we go through here, right here. According to Scopper Gabon, Buccaneers are a hybrid of multiple races, and there is a rumor they carry the blood of giants. It does not appear that they are merely a hybrid of humans and giants, as Colin, who is half human and half giant, is not indicated to be one and also ages much like a normal giant, whereas Kuma has aged more like a human. So So Vegapunk implies that there is something other than their physique that makes Buccaneer special, which is seemingly related to the reason Kuma was able to act after his total shutdown switch was pressed. And of course, Jay Garcia within the episode here, he does say that that his race of people had committed a great crime against the world. And of course, he doesn't tell us what that great crime was. And then that's when we start getting the flashback here from I was right on that. We got a great flashback right here, which I really like. I really like this right here, this contrast from the prior animation style to this right here as the flashback. And we'll just go ahead and play that. It's something just very simple. And of course, they're getting ready to take aim at Bonnie, and they're going to try to kill her. And Vegapunk is right here saying, man, don't do that. She's just a child. She's just a child. And then we flash back again. And then Bonnie wonders if the sun god Nika will come to rescue her. And Kuma, her father, says, of course she will. And now we go ahead and get this nice flashback, which I think is very excellent. This is Kuma's father right here. He actually is one of the Buccaneer people. He might be the last Buccaneer, and this doctor just helped give birth to his son. And he asked the doctor, hey, promise me that you will keep a secret that he's not of the Buccaneer blood or anything like that. And we got his wife here, Kuma's mother, who doesn't appear to look like one of the Buccaneer people. She looks like she might be a celestial dragon, which, we don't know. We don't know what it is, who she is or what she is. And we go forward here, and now we just got word that the doctor has run up to him and told him. By the way, Kuma's father is a pastor in for where he lives, and he serves the people. That's one of the things I like about One Piece is that they bring, and Western storytellers also take note. Oda has done it right, by the way, in my view. He is taken rather real world issues and concepts and institutions and implemented them into his world without being preachy about it. It's obvious that when you look at this right here, that it represents Christianity, but he doesn't call it Christianity or anything like that. So if you want to be able to introduce issues without being preachy or overbearing or letting that get ahead of the narrative, you guys should watch One Piece, because I think Eiichiro Oda, he gets it right. But back to this right here. The doctor, he's asking, what do you mean, doctor? Well, the doctor was forced to tell him that he is of Buccaneer blood. And so the government has come to go ahead and get him. And right here, he's begging, please don't take my son, don't take my wife. All you need is me. Please let my family go. Just like any father would ask in that situation. Of course, there's the reward he gets from the government, a punch to the face. And so now we see here, the wife is there, the son Kuma and father's there. They're chained up. The mother is being let off, telling Kuma to live his life. And we obviously know that he's not going to be seen again. They're taken to Marie Joy, where they all have been turned into slaves. The father tells Kuma to stay strong, and he's already being forced to be put to work. Now, by the way, if you guys don't hate these damn Celestials based on this episode, I don't know what to tell you, but fuck the Celestials. I hate the Celestials. I hate them. These monsters who have no powers, who are weaklings, dominating and domineering over those that are stronger than them, acting as though they are above everyone else. You see how they mistreat Kuma right here, and he goes, "Stop crying, or I'll kill you," and they will kill you. But we have a touching moment where Kuma reunites with his father. They haven't seen each other for a while, and Kuma asks, "How's Mama doing?" Now, I'm of the mindset that Mama is still alive, but that's just my assumption. Kuma's father instead tells him that she's dead and that she should be in heaven now. And of course, neither he nor Kuma are appreciative of what's going on there. And this is the last time that we get to see her for the time being. And here was another touching moment where we see Kuma's father dancing, saying, "Hey, the sun god Nika is going to come and save us. The sun god Nika is going to come and save us eventually." You know, we gotta be patient. We gotta be mindful. But right in front of Kuma's eyes, his slave holder, this piece of shit Celestial, comes out and shoots him in the back. Kills him right in front of Kuma as if he's just an insect. Little bitch ass motherfucker. I hate these Celestials. I hate them. And here we have the Celestials on the Godless Valley Island getting ready to do their triennial event where they're getting ready to go and hunt human beings as if they're pieces of meat. This island shamelessly named God's Valley. And they're going to run around and the world government will own this island. They're pieces of shit. The king comes out and pleads for his people. "Are you going to kill my people for sport?" Nah, they're just going to kill your people. They're not going to kill them for sport. They're just going to kill them. And of course, out of nowhere, you already see the reaction right there. And we have one of the Gorosei when he's a much younger man. Figurlin Garling, Saint Figurlin Garling, comes in and just strikes the king down in one blow. And his wife, he's already taken down the piece of shit Celestials. He's already taken down the king of the locals, and the king's wife, is crying over him. Oh, but to them, hey, it is a game. Saint Garling is a top contender, but he has to start with negative 10,000 points. Piece of shit. And here we see Kuma as a child. You already see his strength. He opens those bars like they're nothing, and he gets ready to escape. And of course, the government sees it and it tells the slaves that were in the cell with him, "Hey, if you don't want to die, you guys better go out there and hunt that disrespectful little boy down and bring him back." And Kuma protests, says, "No, I don't want to go back. I'm going to be dead either way." But we got to see it from the other slave's perspective. If they don't bring him back, they're all going to be dead. So what would you do if you were in that situation? Would you sit there and betray the slave master, knowing the extent of the power that they had, or would you do what you're told, bring the other slave back so that you can all potentially live to see another day? You know, it's a conundrum. So I necessarily don't blame the slaves for doing what they're doing, but sometimes, me personally, I'd have probably joined Kuma and said, let's go. And Kuma protests. He protests, and report goes back to Saint Saturn at the time. Who, man, I wonder how old. Let me go back here. I wonder how old Saint Saturn is, because this is exactly how he looks in the present day, isn't it? And modern day Kuma, he has to be in his mid-30s. And right here, Saint Saturn has to be probably late 50s, early 60s maybe. So he's been right there all this time. And of course, right here, and you see right here, going back to what I was mentioning earlier, the slave all says, "We're a team of 10. We're all responsible for each other. And if one of us dies, you die." And then this is where we get to the end of the episode, and we see that two mysterious people are coming to offer them their services, or hey, do you want to be free or do you want to still be a slave? And so we are treated to our first time seeing the two of the revolutionaries as kids who also happen to be slaves. You know, and so the girl asks him, do you want to live or do you want to die? And of course the slave responded, isn't it obvious that they want to live? And of course we're treated to the reveal of Emporio Ivankov and Jenny. That as kids, see that Ivankov was always a pervert even when he was younger. But we like Ivankov and Jenny. So these are going to become two future revolutionaries along with Batholomew Kuma. And then of course that's the end of the episode. And then we're going to go ahead and go down towards the end, and we're going to see the preview right here. And this is going to be picking up again where they're going to be some flashbacks, and it's also going to be the current day, rather in terms of Kuma's time at that point in time and everything like that. We see that Goldie Rogers getting ready to come on the island. And so, yeah, it's going to be a very exciting episode to see what's going down right there. Until the next episode 1129, titled On the Next Episode. Oh, that's basically what they're saying. Episode 1129, A History Erased, God Valley of Despair. So these piece of shit Celestials are going to go to town. And of course, we see right there Saint Saturn just standing in the distance. Now, this overall episode, you know, we got to see the extent of Saint Saturn's power. We saw a good flashback of Batholomew Kuma and his history, his upbringing. We saw the utter sheer cruelty and evil of the Celestials. We got introduced to two future revolutionaries, Emporio Ivankov and Jenny, and there was some really deep themes that was being addressed in this episode here. And this is really good storytelling. I mean, I'm telling you, this is really good storytelling, and it just goes to show why people are so gravitated towards One Piece. 9.5 out of 10, utterly great. And that recap episode, again, you didn't need to see it or anything like that. We just could have just went right into this episode right here. But no, good things come to those who wait, I suppose. Again, 9.5 out of 10. Really good art style, really good, deep, controversial themes being addressed in a good manner. Really good storytelling, really good fleshing out of characters. You guys let me know what you think. What did you think about this particular episode? Did you guys come away hating the Celestials as much as I do? Or maybe you might have some type of sympathy for those pieces of shit. I hope you don't, but hey, to each their own. What about Kuma? What about all the other characters? Do you think Sanji could have been handled a little better? Jump down in the comments and let me know what you guys think. And remember to like, share, subscribe, turn on those post notifications. And if you watch this video towards the end, I appreciate it. All of that stuff really helps me out. And remember, this is Chris Bolts signing off, and I will catch you in the next video. You guys take it easy.